Okay, hello there. So I'm back. I see we have, excuse me, a lot fewer people, but hopefully others will find their way here. I hate to do that because having posted a link earlier, there are people going there and now finding that we're not there. So hopefully they'll figure it out. Chances are that they may not, but on the other hand, I guess they'll see the other video. Hello there. I'm here. I can see you now. JJ, are you? I can see that the chat window now, so I'm glad I did this. It made sense. Okay, M. Sharf, good to see you. Good to see you too. Well, good to see your name. Good to be seen. What can I say? I'm glad you're here. I hope you're having a great weekend. Sherry, great to hear you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. We'll give it a little bit of time. We had around 30 people, and I'm sure there'll be more. There would have been more coming. We're now back to 20. So we'll give it a little bit of time. Feel free, if you'd like, as we get started, to say who you are and where you're from. I only see a few people have commented so far. So anybody else that's here, if you'd like to share, you're welcome to. Let's see. Loren, do you know about mewing? You might think it's unnatural, but it's very natural. It's about tongue posture that we lose very early in infancy. I don't know anything about that. Never heard the term before. Michael Villalobos, sending love from Southern California. Thank you for everything. You are very, very welcome. I'm curious, Villalobos is not the most unusual name here in Latin America, but I'm actually involved with some folks named Villalobos. In fact, I have a meeting on Monday with a couple of my local Villalobos neighbors, and I'm wondering if you might have relatives here in Costa Rica, Michael. Eric, I do know you. Absolutely. Let's see. JJRU says, all apes have a huge tongue imprint on the top of their mouths. Okay. It's good to know. Sherry from sunny San Diego. Glad to see you. Sunny Sherry from San Diego. Brandon, I made 2 super chats in the last video. Couldn't see them, Brandon. I trust you. Please go ahead and post the questions here if there were questions, because I can't see anything there. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know if anybody else had already posted anything, done a super chat, but hopefully not. Hopefully, because I don't want to lose them. So if you're hearing me now, if you already, thank you for saying so, Brandon. If you did super chats 2 to 3 minutes ago before we reinitiated, please go ahead and tell me here what your question was. I'll trust you. I have no way to see that at this point. I mean, I guess I could interrupt and go watch the video because they come up as it goes. So because it's early, maybe I could do that, but that would be a little bit disruptive. Okay, so Sherry, thank you. It's working. Yep, thank you very much, Sherry. Sherry's just made a $2 donation to test here, and we are indeed back in business with Super Chat. Last week, it was not working because we had made a change to our channel and didn't realize that that change meant we had to go back in and reinitialize certain things, including Super Chat. So let's see. Let's see, where am I? Michael, thoughts on Kundalini Yoga? Kundalini Yoga is great. Love it. It's perfectly fine. No issues there. David from London. Good to see you, David. Glad you're here. I was supposed to be in London this summer. I don't think that's going to happen now, but that was the original plan. Have you ever seen someone go into a coma fasting? If not, have you ever heard of it? If not, how possible or probable do you think it could happen? I have never seen anyone go into a coma while fasting. I have never heard of that happening. I do think it's a possibility. And I've been in a couple of situations. I've had clients where we acted, in one case, we broke a fast early because someone who was getting no sleep whatsoever because he was detoxing from methamphetamines, from pure speed. And I was afraid, in fact, that had he kept going without sleeping, he might well have gone into a coma, because a coma is the body choosing to move into the state where it's not affected by the things it's normally affected by. So it's not affected by light and temperature and sound, etc. Those things don't interrupt rest. This happens when there's been enough injury normally that the body needs this very, very deep level of rest. And so I didn't want that to happen. So we broke his fast and refed him for a while and then fasted again. And not something I normally recommend doing, but in this instance, it seemed like the safest thing to do. And we got him through the process safely and off of methamphetamines for the first time in many years. It was really an amazing transformation that occurred for him. So, okay, I want to scroll down here, Brandon, because I know Brandon's done a couple of super chats. I'll come back up if there's time. But Brandon, if you haven't already, let's see. Okay, Michael, your father's from Costa Rica. Yeah, so you do have no relatives that I know are out there now. Okay, well, again, there's a lot of the same last names over and over again, so it could well be. Enrico, thank you very much. Enrico's made a £2 donation. I appreciate that. Brandon, you haven't. So I'm not seeing. Excuse me, Brandon. Oh, there we go. Hang on. What would be the? I don't know if this is the first one. It's the first one I've seen so far. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like the first question here is, what would be the ideal fitness routine and or length of time of a workout on an optimal frugivore diet? Okay, well, I mean, fortunately, I don't think there is an optimal. I say that's fortunate because it means that each of us can do whatever it is we enjoy doing. There are many ways to stay fit, right? So you can, I mean, my favorite way of staying fit is staying active. Body surfing, for instance, is great exercise. If you've never swum out into the ocean when there's big waves coming one right after the other, it's pretty intense. I mean, I've been in situations where it took 10 minutes just to get out past the breaking waves, and by the time I got out there, I was ready for a break, for a bit of a rest before looking to ride a wave in. So that's my favorite way. I mean, there's very few things I enjoy more than body surfing. I can think of one or two, but I won't share them here. But body surfing is amazing. It's a great way to stay active. In fact, let's go ahead and mention sex is a wonderful exercise. If you're active, I mean, depends how physically active you are, I suppose. It can be done fairly passively, but it can be great exercise too. I mean, not necessarily a great workout for all your muscles, but it's one piece of a healthy lifestyle. And so enjoy it. It actually makes you grow a little younger and makes you happy. We secrete endorphins, and so feel good after sex. And this is a very, very positive thing. But personally, Brandon, as you may know, I mean, here's what I would say. You can find what you like. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to do too much. You don't want to do excessive amounts of exercise, because that interferes with your health and takes a lot of energy and creates free radicals. And so how much is excessive? I mean, again, being physically active is one thing, but if I were, for instance, to go to, I pick on these people all the time, CrossFit, right? CrossFit workouts are 45 minutes, I think, to an hour, hour and a half, and they're super intense, very high intensity. They have a high rate of dealing with hyponatremia, which is low sodium, which can actually be fatal because you sweat out sodium with sweat. And then, if you're just drinking water, this is perfect spring water, but it doesn't have a lot of sodium in it. And so if you drink enough water, sweat out